The second of the 3 P's is preparedness. That means showing up to work with the materials needed and with the level of readiness needed to complete the task at hand. At Gulf Coast Community College, they issue all of these students and employees an ID. At work, many of the jobs that you guys are preparing for will require you to clock in, to scan in when you get there. So what happens if you forget this ID? Well, when I was working at Georgia Pacific, I had some of these encounters when I was 17 or 18 years old. At the very least, it means that you're going to have a very awkward encounter with either your supervisor or an HR specialist. It's going to reflect very poorly upon you, and it's going to make that day start off really poorly. It may mean that you have to go and get your ID and then come in late, making one of your coworkers have to stay over later. It may mean that you have to buy a new ID. That's common in for some of the subcontractors that work at some of the shipyards around here right now. In some cases, it may mean that you will not get to work that day, which means that you will not get paid, which not only affects you in the short term, but it affects you in the long term as well. So, what about other things of preparedness, like showing up with the right personal protection equipment or the right tools for the job? When I was a kid, one time I showed up to football practice with no helmet. And my coach looked at me and said, "Son, would you go to war without a gun?" Well, needless to say, I couldn't be very productive at football practice that day. I ended up sitting around and not getting my job done. So, how does this extrapolate to the workplace? What if you're a machinist and you show up to work and you don't have your safety glasses? Well, what do? Do you try to make it through the workday without them and hope that you don't get caught? Well, that's a recipe for making the safety man really angry, or it could even result in an OSHA violation.